Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. For this tutorial we'll be making the headband. Before we get into this tutorial, I'm going to be answering some frequently asked questions about making a braided headband. Which fabric do I use? For this tutorial I'll be using this design brocade fabric that remained from the boo that I made in the previous video. And you can use a Mikado fabric for your own. You can use a Duchess fabric depending on what you are looking at. You can also use a crepe fabric. Whatever fabric you decide to use is very much acceptable. How many yards of fabric will you be needing? You'll be needing just half yard of fabric. Half yard of fabric is okay to make you this very beautiful braided headband. Okay, how many yards of fiber will you be needing? You need half yard of fiber to be able to recreate this braided headband. Is the elastic compulsory? No, this elastic that I added to mine is not compulsory. I added it so that in case I want to wear a voluminous wig, or in case the client you are making it for, you we are not able to measure their head circumference, just to enable styling, to be able to style it in different forms. So this elastic is not compulsory but very necessary. Some people make it without elastic, which is very much okay. So now let's get right into the tutorial. In this video, we'll be making this very beautiful headband with elastic at the back. These are the materials we'll be needing. We'll be needing this fiber material. Okay, this is about 1 inch. Some tailoring material shops also sell them, but this is called fiber. Okay, this is it. And then we have our fabric that we'll be using and our elastic. I'll be using 1 inch elastic because this is the most comfortable that I've worked with, so I will continue using it for now. For the fabric, we have this long one which we are going to use and make our braids. It's about 27 inches long. Okay, and how I got this 27 inches is that I wrapped my tape around my head, just like in the image on your screen right now. It measured about 23 inches, but because it's going to be braided, I added extra 4 inches. And 5 inches is also okay, but for this tutorial I added 4 inches to the head circumference that I have, which brought this up to 27 inches. Okay, so for this 27 inches I have 1, 2, 3. Okay, and also for these braiding pieces I have the width of 5 inches. Okay, the width is 5 inches, the length is 27 inches. That's for this one, and I have 3 pieces of it. Now the next pieces I have is these 2 pieces. Okay, these 2 pieces is about 3.5 inches wide and 5 inches long. Okay, I'll be using it to cover up the ends of this thing, so the rough edges, so it's not showing, right? And the next thing I have is this one. This is where I'll be fitting in my elastic. I'll be using it to cover my elastic. It's about 4.5 inches wide, 8 inches long. Okay, now let's get into the tutorial. The first thing you want to do is to flip this over this way. This is the front part and this is the back part. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stitch this end with 1/2 inch all the way through, and I'll be doing it for all the 3 pieces. After stitching it down with about 1/2 inch, I stitched all 3 pieces. I'm going to turn it over with my safety pin. So what I'm going to do is just to pin one end, okay, and pass the pin inside, and I'll be using it to turn it over. After turning all 3 pieces over, this is what I have. Now I'm going to bring my fiber. This is my fiber pieces. Okay, as you can see, the length of this fiber is the same with the length of these pieces that I'll be braiding, right? I'm going to divide my fiber into 3 pieces. Now after dividing it, I'm going to pass this fiber inside these things, and how I normally do it is that I'll try to fold one end of my fiber like this. Just wrap it, okay, wrap it very well. Then I'll put this pin inside like this. Try to pass the pin. Now I'm going to try to force it into this place. After forcing the fiber into these pieces, this is what it looks like. Okay, I'm going to do it for all 3 pieces. Now after fixing the fibers into my pieces, this is what it's looking like. I'm going to place one end together like this. All these 3 ends, I'm going to place it together like this, and I'll be stitching down these points together. After stitching close this end, I'm going to start braiding. So there are 3 strands of this thing. I'm going to take the one in the middle to the left and this to the right. So this one in the middle, now I'm going to flip it to this side. This one in the middle, I'll flip it here. So it's more like anyone you find in the middle, you either flip to the right, then the next one in the middle goes to the left, then the next one in the middle goes to the right, the next one in the middle goes to the left, the next one in the middle goes to the right, the next one goes to the left. And that's technically how to braid. And while I'm braiding, I'm making sure that these joining lines are on this side, that they don't show in front, because I want this part to be the front. So I'm going to make sure that they don't show in front by just twisting it a little bit like this. So far this is what we have. I'm going to hold these 3 ends together to pin this down. Take this to my machine and I'll be stitching close this end. After stitching close the 2 ends, this is what I have. I'm going to keep this aside and I'll be working on the part with the elastic. This is the front. I'm going to fold it right side together like this, and I will stitch about 1/2 inch all the way to the end. I'm going to turn it over to the right side. So this is what we have on the right side. Now these pieces of elastic that I did cut out is about 5 inches long. Okay, it's about 5 inches long, and this our pieces is about 8 inches long. I'm going to fix it inside this place like this, right? And I'm going to stitch this end down. I'm going to bring it out to this other end, and I'll also stitch it down on this end. So this is what I have it's looking like. I'm going to go ahead and stitch these ends. Now the next, to add this elastic, this is the part that I want to use as the front of this headband. So I'm going to place this part that does not have lines. I'm going to place it to face this front part. So I'll place it here and pin it down. Okay, this point that I'm pinning down, I'm going to go and stitch across this point. Okay, I'm going to go and stitch across this point, and this other part I'm also going to place this end here, pin it down. I'll take it to my machine to stitch close these points. After stitching this parts to the braids, this is what it's looking like when I turn it to the front. Okay, so now the next thing I'm going to do is that these 2 pieces that we cut out, I'm going to go ahead and stitch close one end like this with 1/2 inch. So after stitching it close with 1/2 inch, I'm going to flip it to the right side. I'm done flipping it to the right side. See what I'm going to do. I'm going to use this to cover this rough edge that we have here. So I will flip, this is the back, this is the side that I want to be inside. So I'm going to place it this way on this rough edge, right? And I will stitch it down. This one as well, I will do the same thing. I will place it on this rough edge and I will stitch it down. After stitching it close, I'm going to get my lighter. Use my lighter to burn these edges so that it's not losing out. Now I'm going to flip this place that I stitched around like this. I'm going to flip it around and I will be dragging it to come and cover this rough edge that we have here. Now after covering the rough edges, this is what is looking like inside. You can see there is no rough edge showing, and this is what it's looking like outside. This is the elastic part, this is the front. So when you wear it, this is what it looks like. Hope this tutorial was explanatory enough. If you recreate it, let me know and tag me to the picture at Yovila Fashion double underscore. If you have any questions, also let me know in the comment section and I'll be answering your question.